Good morning, G. What's up? What do you think? What? What? Yeah? You want to be in the video too? You can be in the video. Yeah. Okay. I'm impressed that I slept last night because I'm super excited. And I didn't think that I was going to, but I did eventually make it to sleep. So, updates on the business. It's going to cost us $260 in servicing fees. And I say us, I'm not meaning you. I'll pay for this stuff. These are my companies. I'll be responsible for paying for their articles of incorporation and so forth. We just have LegalZoom is going to charge us $260 in preparation fees to set the nonprofit up. And then they're going to charge us an additional $90 for Minnesota fees. So I think I can afford to do 2 companies next month, next week. And then we'll do the third company with the next payroll. And just get them all done, get them all live. So that feels real good. Tried making you a longer audio thing last night, and it's too big, couldn't get it to post, yada, yada, yada. So some things to think about coming up. First of all, I want you to start thinking about people that you know, people that you've seen, people that you've heard of. And I want you to think about, among that number, who you'd like to have a lot of fun saving the world with, and who you think would be a good candidate to have a lot of fun saving the world with. I don't want any sourpusses on my team. Not at all. They're no fun. We're not going to save the world if we're not having fun. So just think about that. Next, I want you to start imagining disasters. Ecologic and industrial disasters. So examples of this that you might consider would be like the Deepwater Horizon oil well spill from, you were probably 2 when that happened, but that was actually a really big deal. Or let's think about, what else? What other ecological catastrophes are happening right now that I can't think of? That's embarrassing. I'm supposed to be the climate change guy. I should be rattling off 9 or 10 of these effortlessly. Anyway, just like imagine, like nuclear meltdown. Imagine what would happen if, ultimately pick one thing and make it something that you can research. So the thing that I would recommend that you research, especially as an aspiring geologist, is I recommend that you really research and start to think about the consequences that will occur concerning the predicted Cascadia subduction zone quake that is due literally now. And it's a super quake that is going to take place in the Pacific Northwest. We're moving there. But it's going to be a little bit north of where we're going to live, so we should be pretty sheltered from it. But it will wipe out Portland. And I am all for that. And not really. Not really. There's a lot of good food in Portland, and there are a lot of good people in Portland. So... But yeah, this earthquake is going to be fucking devastating, and it's basically going to shut down the Pacific Northwest, and the general consensus is that its bullseye will be the city of Portland. So I want you just to start to think through. I want you're really good at chain reaction thinking, so I want you to start thinking about consequences, how things chain react off of each other, and let's just practice thinking about, I want to disaster coach you. I want to teach you to think about human circumstances and human situations in the way that I do, and then I want you to come up with your own approach as well. So think about disasters. I'd start with the Cascadia subduction zone. The free publication in Portland called the Willamette, WILAMETTE week did a really great expose a couple years back. That'd be a real good place to start. I also think I can't remember if it was the New Yorker or the New York Times Magazine that did a really good piece on this too, but there's another really long piece of journalism, and if you just Google Cascadia subduction zone quake. You'll get tons of stuff. So there's that. We've been through filing. I'll figure out what all we need to do. I'll put together the articles of incorporation for our church and for our we'll do the church. Well, we'll do the church and the NFT company. Oh, I forgot. I want to use your last name in the corporation name. You're going to own this too, so let's put your name in the header too. And what's crazy about this is your last name is Brandon, so we can literally call it Brandon and Heckman. Non-fungible tokens and marketplace. We'll get a better name for it, but I just thought that was funny. Actually, I'd like to come up with something really good. So let's brainstorm a name. Let's do that Saturday night. Let's brainstorm a name for these companies. I mean, like Global Institute for Edenic Return. What a mouthful, but hey, it's a good name. So the church I've already got a great name for. You ready? Apocalypse Unity Ministries. Right? What are we doing? We're teaching people my meditation technology, Awakening to Awakening, and introducing them to a better diet and better family structures and tribes. And we're going to run the Goodwill tour through the nonprofit, through the church. Because all that, literally every single mile that we put on all of our RVs, all the gas we spend, all of it, it can be written off as a taxable business expense. It's going to be really cool when this happens. So yeah, what else do I have for you? What the fuck are you doing? Do you need me to take you to your scratching post? Or would you like a spanking? What do you think? What do you think? What? Yeah. Oh, are you going to chomp? I guess I have to play with him now. Oh, look at that. He just attacked my legs. Little maniac. I'll hit you up with something else if I remember what I'm missing later, but it had something to do with right. We're gonna make a couple of movies, and I also want you on the podcast. You're an employee now, so I want you to begin actively participating in these things. And the simplest thing to do is just video journal yourself thinking about the things that you want to work on for me, and post those to social media so that people can see what you're doing. You're super photogenic. I think you're going to be a star. So let's get you out in front of people. What I want to do with we're gonna do a couple of videos, and some of them I'll do myself, and some of them you'll help me do, and one of them we're going to ask Seth and Nick to help us make. And we're going to have one of them training their camera on you, and the other one training his camera on me. And you and I are going to have a discussion in which we explain to investors what it is that we're doing, why it's revolutionary, and we're going to explain to them how what we're doing will create lasting and endurant value for them. So, and what we'll argue is there isn't another non-fungible token in history that can offer anyone the level of value that we're offering people. It's just not there. There isn't anything like it. And the thing is, I'm just getting warmed up. You know, give me money and people, and I'll give you a completely different class of investing that will completely change the world. It's nice to be a macroeconomist again. I did it for so long, and everybody thought I was an asshole for it. It's like, so I never got licensed, so I never made the big bucks, but I didn't want to use macroeconomics to help investors make money. I wanted to use macroeconomics to save the world, and I don't need money. I like living modestly. I don't want to be rich. Fuck that. That's stupid. All that does is make life worse. It just turns the volume up on everything in a really painful and profoundly horrible way. I think the single worst thing that ever happened to my dad is becoming a millionaire. Because he's just never been a kind person since. And everyone that surrounds him feels the exact same, behaves the exact same way. So what we want to think about, right? I'm a little bit wobbly in terms of my focus at the moment. And it's just because I need to figure food out. Okay, so movie. Yeah, I want you to interview me, or just to have a discussion. Two business partners talking through their ideas in a way that, what I really want to do is use a 30-minute interview format where we just lay it down with the investors. This is the investment vehicle that we're offering you. This is the value and the reward that it will create. This is why we're tying an additional cryptocurrency to this. No one's ever thought to do anything like that before. And we're literally going to take an investment vehicle and a cryptocurrency and force their value to skyrocket. All in service to saving the planet. Nobody's thought of anything like that. Who's getting a Nobel Prize? I think my first Nobel Prize will be in macro. I predict that I take home more than one Nobel Prize in the next few years. But I think economics will be the first Nobel Prize that I win. That's what I think. If my work takes off, and we will, we're almost there. So, what do I want to say to you? I've really lost my train of thought. Damn it, I hate when that happens. So, yeah, let's sit down and come up with a business name. Oh, right, yeah, we gotta come up with a business name for the non-fungible tokens business. And I mean, just Brandon and Heckman. I mean, the problem is if we use the word advisors, people are going to expect us to be licensed, and we have to be very, very careful about this. So whereas if we just say that we're issuing non-fungible tokens and creating a marketplace to house them, I mean, this is a really interesting question. I may have to call the SEC.